Let's get educated. That's why we're here, to bring you the stories impacting K-12 classrooms and college campuses. It's time for a little education.
Well, welcome everyone. I am Katie Petrick, joined as I always am by the David Fiorazzo. David,
hi.
That's a nice mug you got there. Where'd you get one of those?
Hey, you can get it at freedomproject.com/store. Hey, there it is. Support our show and those two mugs holding the mugs.
Now, David, I have a question, as I always do for you.
Yes, you do.
How is your sleeping going on those burlap sacks that you've been using lately?
It's been a little rough. We've had to use extra lotions on our back, but we're getting used to it. But I think there are other options. There must be, but I just wouldn't know where on earth to go.
Well, hey, I want you to treat yourself. 'Tis the season to treat yourself and get yourself some Giza sheets from My Pillow. My friends over at My Pillow.
Well played. And by the way, I did order some slippers for my wife, and I just got a notification from My Pillow that the order has shipped.
Yay!
So, shh, don't tell Rosanna. So, what you're saying is I should go to mypillow.com to get my hands on some new sheets as well. And then maybe add some other things, towels, which we have, pillows, which we have, a robe I don't think I'd wear, but women probably like those. They're nice and fluffy. And even a dog bed or two like we have. That makes sense, especially if I can save up to 66% on everything. How, you ask? Thank you, Katie. I will answer. Use the code word EDUCATED. Again, go to mypillow.com, use the code EDUCATED, and send Katie and myself something nice this Christmas season, right? We want nice things too.
We can't have nice things. I don't know if it's because of me or you. It's probably both. But anyway, students are now being encouraged to be little narcs, as we called them in our day. You're supposed to rat on each other now. And that's all thanks to a new app by Clemson University, which allows you to text complaints and offensive videos to the staff. Oh, Clemson.
Yeah.
Bunch of narcs.
Clemson. Students, faculty, and staff can use the system to anonymously text administration reports of misconduct and integrity issues. There's the headline. Ethics app at Clemson allows students to instantaneously report on each other with texts and videos. What could go wrong, Katie? Students,
Nothing at all, I swear.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, integrity issues, misconduct, narc.
Narc.
Who's there? Narc.
It's a narc.
I got you.
That was a good one. Narc.
All right, so students can emphasize anonymously. So at Clemson, the public South Carolina-based institution recently announced it would become the first university to offer campus-wide the Real Response platform,
Dun, dun, dun.
described as an anonymous ethics reporting app and a way to make school safe.
Is that a way to make school safe? The thing is, they've been using this. The Clemson Athletics Department, they've been using it since 2016, and now they're expanding it all the way to everyone. But here's, okay. If
Why
you're
would the
as part,
why would
exactly.
the athletic? I don't
if
know.
you are part of the athletic department, who are you narking on? Your coach, who is going to play you in the game or not? And like, of course, they're going to get rave reviews coming out of the Clemson Athletics Department. Now it's going to go to the broad student base, the Joe Schmoes of the world, the everybody's of the world, not just the athletes.
Not knowing exactly their reasonings and who's been narking on who, but I can see how this can be used as a bully pulpit.
Y'all think?
For Christians, conservatives, people that do not support the gender surrender and all that, and the woke ideologies. If you do not support it, I can see how the left can narc on or report. They call that an integrity issue. It's an issue of morality, and it's just crazy. But yeah, the athletic department, I can see how they can use that.
I'm sure it was fine for the athletes, but now you're expanding it to the whole base. So the fact that you can instantaneously send videos and photos, as if this generation doesn't live on their phone enough. They're just going to sit there and record classes, not so they can play it back later to study from, to learn, but just so they can narc on someone. And so that's clearly what's probably going to end up happening. Now, according to Emily Cope, a Clemson undergraduate, she said that Clemson administrators want to encourage the reporting of misconduct, but the university already provides several channels for anonymous reporting.
Yep.
So again, why are we doing this? And like I said, even more reason now for the students to be on their cell phones. They can make the argument, with the professor, I'm at the ready in case something happens. Like, so what do you do with a no cell phone policy? You can't even implement that anymore because, hey, if the school's pushing that you're supposed to be instantaneous to upload these photos and provide the videos, what are they going to do?
Okay, listen to this, the name of this office, right? Activity on the platform is monitored by Clemson's Office of Internal Auditing and the Office of University Compliance and Ethics. Some students, though, expressed concern. Did you read Mary Kate Stewart's? Mm-mm. She says it really shows that our school cares about student and faculty wellness and makes me feel very safe to be here.
Safe.
When asked how she feels about the prospect of students recording each other, Mary Kate Stewart continued, I understand people's concerns with this, but I think in general people wouldn't take advantage of a program like that. A little naive, perhaps?
Maybe a little bit.
She did say these folks definitely have a point, though. It brings up the ethics of new technology and how most things in life can be used for good and bad, and you just hope the good people use it for the right reasons and don't abuse it. Of course, Katie, we would have to define good people, the right reasons to use this. Narc. Who's there?
I do like the simple fact that the College Fix who wrote the story tried to reach out to Clemson Board of Trustees via their executive secretary. No response. They emailed Deborah Galloway, who's a executive assistant to the vice president. No response. I guess they should have just texted an anonymous tip in, and then maybe they would have immediately got some help.
It's creepy, though. They can use photos and videos, not just a text.
No, so you're thinking, upload it all.
I mean, please, can we use those things for true journalism? Get back to that, citizen journalism. But no, they're using it to tell on each other. Anyway, still to come, students at a college in Minnesota are now demanding more gender-inclusive housing because apparently everyone and their brother is either non-binary or transgender. We're talking about that next.
If you have a smartphone, tablet, Roku, or Apple TV, consider downloading the FreedomProject Media app. It's 100% free and includes all of our weekly shows, plus lecture series, archive programs, and award-winning animated videos for families like the Presidential Minute, Battles of America, and Heroes of the West. Don't rely on the social media giants to keep you informed. Simply download the Freedom Project Media app from your app store and allow notifications. And we'll let you know when a new video is ready.
Because we live in a world where some of the people think that there are more than two genders out there, the demands to have housing be gender inclusive is top of the docket.
There it is.
We have McAllister College, which is a private liberal arts college in the St. Paul, Minnesota, and they are going to possibly expand their all-gender housing following student complaints because whoever cries the loudest gets heard. Right now, the college has specific housing for transgender students that's called intentional housing. When I first read it, I read it as international housing. Like, yeah. Intentional housing.
What does that mean?
It's intentional. It's in Doty Hall, and that's for their first-year students. But listen up. Returning students can request to live in the all-gender community, which apparently houses 10 students right now.
What?
And if you are a sophomore, a junior, or a senior, you are also permitted to live with whichever gender they identify with on single-gendered floors. But it's not enough, David. It is not enough. No, it is not enough. Eli Fluwell, a non-binary student, told the Mac Weekly, which is the student newspaper, that McAllister cannot call itself gender affirming until it expands all gender housing.
All.
As Fluwell said, McAllister knows that there's a bunch of people who wanted all gender housing and didn't get it.
A bunch.
And I think that unfair is not the right word. It feels like Mac is going back on their advertised values.
Okay, first, can you understand? Let's just talk about it from the boy's perspective here. Can you understand how it would be, even if you're not truly thinking that you were born in the wrong body or you're the opposite gender, wouldn't it be interesting to see how many young men would say, hey, I'm going to pull this off just so I can live in a house with women, or just so I can room with women, or whatever? I mean, do you put it past anyone who is a teenager, 18, 19, going to college, away from home, no restrictions, and now I can live with whoever I want, right? So there's so many reasons this is awful thinking, and trying to satisfy every student desire and need. Again, let the kids decide how to run things. But let's just talk about Priscilla Perez. She's a residential services manager, and she hopes to expand all gender housing options by the fall semester next year, 2023. She's working with the Department of Multicultural Life and Assistant Director of Diversity Education. There it is. Oh, I didn't even read it all.
The full title.
Whole thing.
The full title.
Okay, so let me reverse here. Department of Multicultural Life and Assistant Director of Diversity Education, Leadership and Inclusion, Mads Clark? What the heck is that?
It's a person. That's the title. Mads Clark is the Assistant Director of Diversity Education, Leadership and Inclusion. And let's listen to what Mads...
DEI.
DIE. Here's what Mads has to say. Listen very closely to this.
According to Clark,
we cannot just be prescribing that college is the time to find yourself. Because a lot of students come into college having a pretty concrete understanding of where they're at. While also knowing that can change and fluctuate, right?
Okay, just like truth changes, right? Truth can change. That's your truth.
What,
this
Mads?
Is my truth.
You're Mads. That makes no sense.
Well,
and yet this is what you're trying to give to these.
Department of Multicultural Life and Assistant Director of Diversity Education and Leadership and Inclusion.
I mean, Mads is still trying to focus on what the title of Mads' role is.
You can't fit that on a door easily.
I know, that would be very...
Or on a nameplate.
Oh, it would be so complicated, right? Jeez. Well, anyway, hey, they're not alone in this. They're not alone in trying to do this. They're not some crazy liberal arts college, but they are... there are other universities out there doing this, like the University of North Dakota.
Really?
Which has proposed a policy to allow gender identity to dictate their housing. There are 3, at least, Catholic colleges. Fairfield
Do you have to put those in quotes?
University, yes. Sacred Heart University and St. Mary's College of California are also providing a gender-inclusive roommate option for the current fall. So if MAC is not good to them, maybe you just transfer to one of the Catholic universities.
This is very interesting. If you look back at American history and Woodstock and the free love hippie movement, the sexual revolution in the 1960s, right? I mean, we would have loved to have roomed with whoever you want. And I mean, it's free love, right? So now these young kids today, young people have been trained and taught and programmed by a lot of those that came out of that movement.
Yep,
and here we go. I'm going to room with whoever I want.
That's right. Well, anyway, we're going to head over to the University of Cincy-Wutzke, where the next generation of freeloaders are now demanding that laundry services be provided free of charge on the campus. Just go grab your quarters. Stay with us.
Today's show is sponsored by our friends at MyPillow. Save up to 66% on pristine quality bedding, towels, slippers, signature pillows, and much more when you use the code EDUCATED. That's EDUCATED. Educated. Support this show and a great American company.
Your clothing may get dirty, okay?
Yep.
It's a fact of life. And you're going to have to clean it if you want to be a decent human being. So obviously everyone else should have to pay for it. Not you. Okay? Not you. You're the college student. You should not have to pay to clean your own clothing. And I know that Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will support you all the way down to the laundromat. because that's what she does. She campaigns for all those crazy things. Anyways.
Yeah, so taxpayers should pay for dirty laundry.
Yes, especially because the Young Democratic Socialists of America chapter at the University of Cincinnati,
dear Lord,
they decided they wanted to host a tabling event about the free laundry just a couple weeks ago with the school's Student for Justice in Palestine and Generation Action chapters. They're all joining together to fight for free laundry services.
Oh my goodness, what a priority.
And it's not just to those full-time students. No. Even you part-time university students should have to, what? Bring all your dirty laundry from home and just use the university's laundry services?
Yeah, part-time students, don't they live off campus usually?
Part-time? I argue that most of these college students are part-time to begin with. Yes, they may be there full-time, but they are part-time college students. Now, this tabling effort was aptly named Knittin' Mittens for Free Laundry. It's beautiful. Knittin' Mittens. Because they were literally knitting some mittens. And hey, they wanted you to join in. The yarn, the needles, and the hot cocoa were provided.
Wait. Who paid for that hot cocoa?
Ooh, good one.
The college should pay for that.
You know what? I also want to know if that hot cocoa was just made from water because, vegan. If they had milk in there, it's probably wasn't even that good of hot cocoa. Now, the group put on Instagram their announcement saying that the free laundry is a right. Did you know that? Free laundry is a right that all students have. And we're trying to secure it for students at UC. And then, what the best part is, the weather, they had their event, and the weather was kind of bad. But hey, as they said, rain or shine, sleet or snow, UCYDSA will be out in the streets trying to improve student life. Thank you to everyone who signed our petition, took a contraceptive, or just stop by for some hot chocolate.
Wait.
And I really, really hope they did not mix all those items up.
What is the contraceptive?
Oh, yeah,
what does that have to do with laundry?
We're just throwing that in. Well,
but they get one free for signing up.
If you wanted to talk about Bill Clinton times with the laundry and contraceptives.
All right, okay, Kate.
Anyway,
let's get back to the bones of this here. Quarters. Quarters are typically the denomination that goes into laundry machines, washers,
the George
and dryers.
Washingtons. Yes.
How many of those would you use in, let's just say, 5 quarters?
Or maybe it's more. I think it depends on. I guess it depends on the washer. It's if you're paying with cash.
$1.75 for a washer. $1.75?
Goodness.
No wonder they demand.
How
free laundry.
Yeah, but those washers are giant. So they can fit a whole big load in. Well, hey, if you put it on your Bearcat card, it's only $1.50. Get that discount, children. Get the discount. And then the dryer, you can air dry. You don't even have to pay for this. You just pay for the wash.
$1.50 for dryer.
Back in my day, you have to get out the little board and scrub your laundry.
So they're demanding this. This is, we have to do these stories every now and then because it just talks about the silliness, but also how people are so entitled today. It's off the charts. I mean, every little thing. Can you imagine what don't they demand free?
Well,
today?
They are entitled. Like that guy in the last story has a title. Title. Yes, they are very entitled, and that's why they put out their little petition where they have over 1,200 signatures, and they want to get 1,600. And it says the University of Cincinnati prides itself on being an institution which provides access to education for an economically diverse student body.
Okay.
As students at UC, we see it as our duty to hold the university to this vision. Students at UC already face a substantial financial burden in attending college. Maybe if you didn't have a bunch of diversity officers around. We believe that offering free laundry is a reasonable and necessary step in making education accessible to students of all financial backgrounds. Everything at this point.
Wait.
Here's the worst part.
Okay.
Access to hygiene resources plays a critical role in students' mental, physical, and professional well-being. Lack of access to these resources can place serious strain on low-income students. It's one of the many obstacles these students face, which directly contradict their mission and all this other blah, blah, blah. So they want to sign it. Okay, how about you just don't, instead of being like, okay, everyone, you get free this or that, how about you actually assist those truly in need? Because these college students, more than majority, don't need it. This is just them freeloading.
Well, exactly.
Those who truly need it, help them.
I was going to say,
do not apply it across the board.
Access to hygiene resources. Really? But what I was thinking about is just go without a latte or two that day.
Or your
iPhone. And that's $10.
Or your MacBook.
That's $10 or $12
or your Nike
right there.
sneakers.
I mean, that's more than what you would pay. It doesn't cost you $10 or $12 to do laundry unless you're doing laundry for 6 months. Or
you
whatever.
do laundry once a week. What is it? $1.75. It costs you $1.75. You do not need to dry your clothes. $1.75. Done.
Well, I would still think you need to dry your clothes. But the point is, go without some of these mega drinks and lattes and the snacks and the junk food that you're buying, and stop demanding, I should say, everybody pay for your stuff. That, can I get an amen out there?
Amen.
Send us a comment at stayeducated.org. Let us know what you think about
your thoughts.
this.
That's right.
Yeah,
well,
don't hold back.
Don't hold back at all, and we're not going to hold back next, because we got our top 5 Babylon Bee headlines coming up, and that's not actually how I punch, so don't worry. Make sure you stay right here.
We want to hear from you. If you have a question or comment for Katie, David, or any of our other show hosts, simply visit stayeducated.org. That's stayeducated.org and submit your question or comment. Our team loves to hear from you and might just give you a shout out on air. Again, visit stayeducated.org and connect with us.
All right, before we wrap this show up for the day, let's take a look at everyone's favorite satire site, the Babylon Bee.
Here are this week's top 5 Babylon Bee headlines.
We've picked our favorite headlines of the week and will now decide which one should be named Queen of the Hive. Let's start with this one. Bob Iger vows to cut back to only 7 LGBT characters in every kid's movie. Number 2, Starbucks begins promotion offering free coffee if you can correctly guess your barista's gender. 3rd, next, he's got a gun. Bystander arrested for misgendering non-binary shooter. Next, new elf on the shelf will scan your social media account to see if you misgendered anyone. And finally, trans furry named Best in Show at National Dog Show. Katie, your top pick.
Wow, we had a theme this week, but it was not politics as much.
Yeah,
it was more cultural.
I liked it.
All over the place there. Since I'm so anti Elf on the Shelf, let's go Elf on the Shelf, because all the parents, anyone who does Elf on the Shelf, let us know, stayeducated.org, if you do Elf on the Shelf, and the drama that is having to move that stinking elf every night, but the fact that they talk about the misgendering, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, so I like 2 of them. I really can't decide. So the he's got a gun one. Can you imagine? He's got a gun. Wait a minute, that's not a he, that's a she, that's or whatever. That's a non-binary shooter.
Yeah.
But I also like to just really, criticize Disney. They deserve it. Bob Iger vows to cut back to only 7 LGBT characters.
Yep.
And because for years, it's not going to matter who's in charge at the top. Disney, it's infected and infested within. The system is poisoned. It's corrupt, right? It's depraved. But so the guy at the top is not going to really affect that, in my opinion. That's going to wrap up our top headlines of the week. More satire to come next time. Katie, this is your turn.
Oh, all right. Well, if you are a fan of our show, please, do that thing, where you like, you comment, you share the video, especially if you're on the social media, that's where you do it. And obviously, don't forget to take advantage of our 66% off deal at MyPillow. Christmas is almost here, everyone. Get on it. So simply go to mypillow.com and use that code word educated
Merry Christmas.
to save yourself a whole heap on that new pair of Giza sheets this Christmas season. Well, for David and his burlap sack, but he's going to get some sheets, and myself, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting this show. Until next time, stay educated.